Hey, do you want to talk about sleep today? Let's do that, and then we'll do something else after.
Let's do that. That's perfect.
You guys want to talk about sleep patterns as a mom right now? Because I feel like it's the direction we're currently headed.
Here's the deal. We're two moms and we popped babies out in our 40s. And it was hard.
It was hard.
It's also the best thing that's ever happened to either one of us.
Yeah, but now we're moms in our 40s.
In our 40s.
With preschoolers. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's bring the community together of women.
All the moms, 40, 20, night. It's not really nice.
And also, like, let's just talk about like real shit, real life, real women shit.
Yeah, real women shit. Let's do that.
Shit's hard. And also it's funny. They don't.
Let me just pull my bush out of my bush.
Cheers.
Cheers. Unfiltered.
Because if you want a show, we're a shit show. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mature-ish Mamas, Life Unfiltered.
Good morning. It's morning time here where we're at. Welcome to the #1 podcast for mommies born in the 1900s.
In the 1900s. Hey, moms.
Hey,
and
mamas.
if you weren't making babies in the 1900s, we have some wisdom that we'd like to lay down on your face today. Okay, so more
aggressive. Got to be aggressive.
Here it comes, coming in hot,
right on your face.
Already with the branding and the marketing. Here we go. Yeah,
no,
you guys gear.
Anyways,
okay,
we're looking out. We have this window right here. It's beautiful, blue sky, not a cloud.
And so immediately I was like, when I couldn't sleep last night again, because I don't know, there's a special number of things that happen for us moms with preschoolers.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's okay, if you have a preschooler and you're young, you probably don't sleep.
No.
Because that's just part of it.
I think that is part of it.
Yeah, or a child.
A child of any age. High schooler, I'm sure you don't sleep much either.
Yeah, exactly. So the second you have babies, you stop sleeping, basically.
Yeah.
And then when you turn 40, and there's this cool thing of like a perimenopause that starts.
Hey, Perry.
Ooh, hey, Perry. In and out, in and out. Then you're like, will I truly ever sleep again?
Yeah, this is a new insomnia that I've never experienced before. It is like wide awake. Like, I'm not just kind of like, gosh, I'm so tired, I can't sleep. I'm like, bing.
Do you feel like energy in a certain area of your body when you're wide awake that you can recognize?
That's a great question. I don't know if I've ever paid attention.
Yeah.
So much. I will next time.
Mine was so loud last night, like where I was like, is there, I don't know, like a rocket launch going off like in the center of my body? And I didn't want to give it the name anxiety because I felt like, I mean, like why? But then I was like, so what did I call it? I gave her a new name, like Rowdy or something.
Ooh.
I was like, hey, Rowdy, I see you in there, and you want, I don't know what you're wanting right now. Thank you for coming in. And then when you want to leave, you can. But it was like, it was so awake in that area last night for me too.
Yeah.
And you just recently had
Sunday night. Yeah. Wide awake. Like, and it's not that we're not exhausted. You know, it's not like you're not tired, but the brain is just wide awake.
Yeah.
I laid down the whole time, but even as I lay there and meditate and pray and find my gratitude and like try and sleep, I watched this lady. She was like saying how you can do this eye movement, like you close your eyes, but you're like looking up, looking down, side, round, in the middle. And I'm like doing it over and over and over.
I don't want to be present for that. I'll look over and I'm like, what's going on with Meg's eyes? I'm a little bit freaked out. So how'd that work for you?
Nope. I stayed up till 4:30 a.m. And
wait, did you go to sleep at all yet?
No, I hadn't slept at all yet. Like I literally was not. I do go to sleep and wake up often and then I'm awake.
Yeah.
But this was like, nope, you're not even getting a wink tonight, lady.
That feels so unproductive. Hey, do you want to talk about sleep today? Let's do that. And then we'll do something else after.
Let's do that. That's perfect.
You guys want to talk about sleep patterns as a mom right now? Because I feel like it's the direction we're currently headed.
We already are.
Here we are.
We were at a fork in the road, but there's actually just a straight away. We're going to take that one.
It's like a spoon. It's going to scoop us up and shoot us out to the moon. Sometimes you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? I am.
Usually what I'm doing, like usually we have these amazing conversations without being recorded. And then afterwards I'm like, what did we talk about?
Yeah. And why didn't we press record sooner?
And
So
why isn't there a camera on us?
let's go. And there is today.
Yep, his name is
Camera. This is just a side note. I bought my son a camera
Uh-huh.
for Christmas because that's what he wants. And as having an 18-year-old and 20-year-old too, they like to have nice things, especially my son. He will thrift everything, but then when he wants something, like he wants the thing. So he wanted a camera and it's like $1,500. And I was like, yo, Snoop, I'm not getting
Yeah.
you a Sony.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go to Amazon and buy you a camera. That's where it's supposed to say Sony or what are the other Panasonic, whatever.
Yeah.
It says,
Whatever those other cameras are.
yeah. So it says camera, 150 instead of 1,500. He's like, hey, mom, do you want to use this? I was like, you bet your ass I do. Thank you for my Christmas present,
I know,
sweetheart.
that
You
was
go buy
so-
your own
So nice
Sony.
of you. I know. That was so nice of you, Jace. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks, Jace. Okay. So we're talking about sleep patterns.
Mhm.
So in your night, I liked how you started talking about, because I'm guessing you guys, if you've ever had problems sleeping and you're watching, like share with us what that's like for you. I think a lot of people get online and start scrolling.
Yeah,
That's their
uh-huh.
immediate go-to. Have you
Yeah.
ever been that person?
Yeah, I still am that person sometimes
Yeah.
because what it is for me is that my brain will not stop. And so that mindless scrolling sometimes does help it to kind of shut down and then I can sleep.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
not the case on Sunday, but yeah.
Sometimes it,
Yeah.
yeah, it can
So,
help.
I mean, which is such a it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because you put that big old screen light in your face and it's like you're not going to sleep.
This is not helping your melatonin
No,
production.
it's not helping your circadian rhythm.
Not at all.
So yeah, so I do that sometimes. Yeah.
Did you
But-
know, side fun fact, that so the way that our eyes receive light for our circadian rhythm to like have the ability to go to sleep at night. So for you guys that are not good sleepers, even though we're talking about us not being good sleepers today, this is a fun fact. So turning out the lights, most of us know that, turning down screens, but it's the top of your eye that receives the message. So okay, wait, let me get this right. So all of our TVs are up tall, most of ours,
Yeah. Okay.
which they're shining down into the bottom. And that's
Okay.
where our brain is like, don't go to sleep, don't produce melatonin.
Oh,
Where if the light was going above, then it wouldn't be great, but it would be slightly better.
interesting.
Interesting, right? Like it's
Yeah,
like,
I
why are
never
all our
knew that.
TVs up there? Where if we could just, even if you just like bring your screen down, at least it's going to affect your melatonin production and your receival of that a little bit differently.
That's great to know. Thanks for that little tidbit.
Thank you. Look it up on the Google and maybe it's completely wrong. But I think I saw some sort of movie or show about it. Anywho,
We're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna start doing everything like this.
yeah. And then like speaking of like lights and screens, do you turn down? We guilty. We watch TV every night before we go to bed.
Yeah.
Do you ever change the setting of your light on yours so it goes down? Hey,
Buggy
Cassie.
Boo Boo. Just making his regular appearance on,
Yep.
on the cast.
He wants to make sure.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm making a
Did you sleep good last night?
yeah.
Did you have any dreams?
No.
No. Oh,
Just-
I got it.
Can you with your cord? Let's see. Let's see how talented we are. You got this. She's like a prowess, a lion moving through the safari, trying to close the door that still doesn't have a handle, so it actually doesn't block any noise.
Yeah, go back to episode 1 if you're wondering what's happening.
Anyways, we were just talking about the lighting, like how that can be supportive of trying
Yeah.
to sleep and
So I didn't
Adjustment.
even know that you could do that on your television.
mhm.
Because I do it on my phone, obviously. I think most people know. I mean, you don't want that bright light anyways when it's dark in your room.
Right.
But cool. TV. Good
Yeah.
to know.
And I think that, so those of you who manufacture the technology of TVs, could you make it a little simpler? Like it should just say like night mode. And I don't think that's a thing. Like you have to go to
Night
setting,
Mode.
display mode, brightness, move down, then you have to exit out, screen. So my kids are always like, is it coming back on? It's like, so it's a little bit of a process.
Yeah.
And that's going to take me 3 seconds. I'd like it to take 1. So
Time is money.
yes. So when we say night mode, turn that baby to night mode. We all need some support
That-
sleeping.
Yes, let's do that. Come
Yeah.
on, TV people, TV manufacturers.
Let's get that done. So, okay. So
Yeah.
you were,
So, yep, I do pick
Awake.
up my phone most of the time. Yes, I was awake. And my brain, it literally was like on a marathon. Like, and the funny thing is like I really can't think of a lot of things that I was so like, yeah, I don't want to say anxious because it's like it, but it is kind of like that. It's like
Right.
you're feeling anxious about something.
Mhm.
And maybe didn't even pinpoint it. So I was just doing all the things. My
Right.
brain was just telling me all the things that should be coming up and that I should be doing or what I need to look up. Or all of a sudden, I think too, as a mom, when you get the moment to finally be
Mhm.
with yourself, there's no distraction. The kids are sleeping, husband's sleeping. Your brain is like, my turn.
Yeah. So you can pay attention. Look at me. Look at
Me.
me. Pay
Which-
attention to
Yeah,
me.
I do. I do.
I do.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. So that's really where it was on Sunday night. Plus, like you said, all the other things, the hormones, all the stuff that goes along with all that stuff. Plus, because if I'm actually able to sleep and I am asleep, I get woken up by a hot flash.
Do you have those at night right now? Oh,
Hot,
fun.
my own personal summers in the evenings of the night.
Oh, that's so nice.
It
It's like
is.
a little touch of Mexico. It's -2 degrees here, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is so great. I feel like I'm on fire
Yeah,
from
let
the
me just
inside
strip
out."
down, and it doesn't help because it is from the inside out, like a little furnace burning inside of me. But
There's
yeah.
there's just so much. So there's that, which I don't think I've had that sort of fire. I'm
Mm.
just like a hot sleeper anyways.
Yeah.
So I wake up in the morning and for the first 30 minutes, I could just go outside in the -2 degree
Okay.
weather and just let my body come back down.
Mhm.
But I'm really looking forward to that internal furnace. That's going to be neat.
Neato, gang.
Welcome to Mature-ish Mamas. If you have this happen to you, go ahead and tell us, how do you deal with it, you guys?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, seriously. So we have the Ecobee. So in the night,
Uh-huh.
my phone is hooked up to my thermostat. So
Oh.
this is kind of how it all gets rolling,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So on the nights that I actually fall asleep and then I wake up
Yeah.
and I'm on fire, I kick the blankets off. And oh, mind you, there's also in our house, it's my husband and I and Cass. We all sleep in the bed together. That's what we do in
What
our
about
home.
Augie?
So Augie too.
Yep.
Augie's off and on.
Okay.
And of course she wants to sleep by me.
Yeah. And
you know,
Augie's the doggy.
Augie's
the
Augie
doggy.
doggy.
Yeah.
She's a 75-pound lab, so she wants to sleep right on my feet.
I love that's you know what, your feet though are important when managing your temperature.
Not at all. Or when you want to move your body in any other position. And she will not give it up. Like I've had other dogs and they always want to sleep at your feet. And they'll get up. Like you move
Yeah.
and they get up. She's like, nope, I'm not moving.
I'm picturing your little like toes stuck and your whole body like twisting like a tornado, just trying to get out of it. But you're just like wine snap back like a rubber band. That's what I'm picturing right now. I wonder why you don't sleep.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I know, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So I get on my phone, kick off all my things, get on my phone to turn down the thermostat. Because I usually try and do that anyways before the night.
Yeah.
But sometimes I forget or, whatever's happening, you're doing bath time and all the things. And
Right.
then you're like, okay, it's bedtime. We're going to bed. And then you forget. And then you wake up at midnight and it's 73 degrees, which is too hot,
Too warm.
too warm in my house.
Yeah.
So I open my phone, turn it off, and that's it. It's over. The phone has been opened. My eyes have been opened.
The light has
And
been seen.
yeah, the light has been seen. But I will tell you one thing. If I don't have to do that, my mom told me this because she used to get hot flashes at night.
Uh-huh.
And which is so awesome to be able to have that source to talk to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You guys get to share that now.
Yeah,
She
and
went
that's
through it
like-
and now you're going through it.
yeah. It's like, you get to share all these mother things. And now it's like, you share menopause.
Yeah. I'm so blessed.
I
So
know.
grateful.
But she did tell me a trick that's been working for me so far.
Yeah.
In the nighttime, she would get him in the night. And she said, if I would get up and pee, I would cool off.
Really?
And I would try it and it helps.
Interesting.
It does. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And maybe it's just like it's in our DNA or something
Yeah.
for us, but hey, try it
why,
out.
why not try?
Let us know.
Yeah.
Try it one night. If you are having a hot flash in the night, get up and try and pee. And if you pee, let me know if it works for you. Cause I'd be
Yeah.
interested to know if
I would
that's
be
not
too.
just another.
I
People.
was like, what about just like ice cold water? Not,
I haven't tried.
yeah, that's something else to try. So what we do is we have the thermostat so that it goes to 66 at night because
Yes.
that's the best temperature for everybody to sleep, even though your husband will bitch and moan about it and turn the heat up, blah, 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 I'm so cold. That is what is like the scientists, also the Google shares with us, like
Yeah.
that's where your
Yeah.
temperature should be.
Great to
And
know.
then sometimes just I pop open the window just to piss them off even more.
We always have the window open,
Mhm.
a fan go. We have 2 fans going. We have an industrial fan in our
Yeah.
room.
Who
And then
wants
the
to go
dog
have a
bed.
sleepy over at Maggie's? Huh?
Come
Huh?
on. We got room in the bed.
I can't say much because not only do we have a similar situation, we took our king size bed, and when Witten was going through all of his therapy and everything, and he wanted to be by mom, but then Quincy was fearful that he'd wake up and we were at the hospital again, so he wanted to be by
Yeah.
mom. And dad's cool, but like, come on, like,
Yeah.
mom,
Not in the night
no,
either.
mom
Like,
is the
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
So
Mom is home.
yeah. So now we
Yeah.
have both kids and John and I in the bed, and then my child, my little chemo guy, he would wake up and we would be up every morning from like 12 until 3 or 4 for about a year and a half. So
Yeah.
we would try to like tiptoe and sneak out. And now I've learned that if we have a fridge in our room, then we can get access to his like stuff that he needs quicker. So I'm opening and closing a fridge, and we decided to add
It's like college.
it is. Who wants me to crack them open
Yeah.
something? It's 2 a.m. We can go right back to sleep. Okay.
Got a little mini fridge right here in the bedroom.
So
Yeah.
true. It's
Yeah.
so true. And then we added a twin size bed next to our king size bed. So my
Awesome.
bedroom is literally just bed.
Beds.
Yeah.
Beds and mirrors.
That's yeah, which is that let's not
Roll that one back.
I mean,
there's children in
let's
the room.
not even talk about the fact that it used to be my mother's bedroom. Talk about sharing things. Okay. Anyways,
Woo!
about my mom's house.
Mhm.
I'm in her room. Wow.
We went right in there. Right in from the beginning. On your face.
We
I'm gonna
really
start. This is really how it is, though, you guys. So welcome.
we don't know how to tune that out or down. Not
Never. Ain't
these
gonna
go to
happen.
11 always.
Ain't gonna
Mm-mm,
happen.
Mm-mm. So yeah, so we
Yeah.
have a similar situation, which makes me just think of since we like to have conversations all over the board, we'll go back to the night sweats and the wakesy upsies. But like, how about toddler sleep?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's so many different moms who unfortunately I think that their way is the way, and then they try to often push that way on others when the truth is like there's 8,000 ways and each mom can do it the way they want.
I think that encapsulates motherhood.
Yeah.
There is no right or wrong. It's just the way that it works for you,
Mhm.
right? And sleep is one of those things. And sleep is, we all know how important it is. I mean, just like everything else that we do, we're kind of last on the list,
Mhm.
So, but for those babies, it's so important. So how are we going to get them to feel like they can get the sleep that they need?
Right.
And in our house, it's in our bed.
Yeah.
And it has been, since the second this kid was born, which is another cool thing that you find out when you have a baby.
Yeah.
Is like, you think you're going to be in charge. You're going to like mold this little human into something. No, he was exactly who he is the second he came out.
He's his own little spirit,
He's
and
his
he
own little
knows,
spirit.
stop trying to take their spirit away. Let them be their little
Let them.
wild, crazy ass being.
We are spirit guides
Mothers.
as mothers.
Yeah.
We're spirit guides. We
I
are
love
not
that.
Yeah, we are not here to make anyone be anything. We are just guiding their spirits. So back to that though, like literally, he was born at 10:15 p.m. and I was exhausted. I was induced. So my induction started the night before at
Mhm.
like 9 p.m. Which we'll have to talk about all of that
Yeah.
sometime too.
Oh,
'Cause I was like
absolutely.
thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. So
Yeah.
thank you for my therapy, people.
We don't have to pay our therapist anymore. Y'all are it. Yet we don't get paid to do this. We pay you. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you.
The best.
I know, right? Yeah. So 10:15 p.m. he's finally come out, and then that's not the end. Like there's so much that goes on and
Yeah.
things still happening. So, it's close to probably midnight when it's finally like everyone kind of leaves the room and you're like, Johnny's laying on the poor little couch, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and he's like 6 foot, he's not a small
He's
man. And
not
he's like,
fitting very
yeah, he's
well
like,
in that.
I'm just gonna take a nap. So I'm like trying to sleep, and Cass, they wrap him up and put him in the little like bassinet thing
Yeah.
next to me. Nope. They and
Nope.
he's
Nope.
like, no,
Yeah.
you are not gonna leave me here by myself in this thing. The night nurses kept coming in and they're like, you can't hold him. You're too tired. You need to sleep. And I'm like, you are not in here.
Yeah.
You are not his mother either. He's crying and I want to pick him up. Like,
Yeah.
I just met the dude. Let me hold him. Like,
We've kind of bonded
yeah,
over the last 10 months.
yeah.
We kind of got a thing going on.
We kind of have a thing going on. So I literally didn't sleep that first moment and
Yeah.
not since then.
Yep. And here we are surviving.
Here we are,
He's oh, yeah,
thriving,
yeah.
surviving,
Thriving,
thriving.
doing it.
Yeah.
It's interesting because with my bigs, I was a young mom at that point, and I was much more influenced by what other people's opinions were,
Oh,
especially like motherhood sources, whether it was my mom or other moms or whatever. And at the time, because it was in the early 2000s, there wasn't the socials yet. So
Yeah.
'cause I can't imagine now as a young mom feeling like you're being infiltrated with everybody else's
yeah.
opinion about how you should do it. And I just don't even know. But I think that I had Jace in the closet so we had a bigger room with like a walk-in closet and a whatever. It was like spacious. So the closet was like a room. So
Yeah.
we actually put him in there a week after.
Nice.
And that worked for us then.
Uh-huh.
It worked for him. He was like quickly like sleep trained or whatever. But there are these moments that I have now where I remember just like laying in front of my daughter's door when we first had her cry it out and just being like, this hurts so freaking bad. And then being proud of myself after she did start sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
And then realizing that all that shit just goes to shit when they realize they can get out of their own beds and watch out. You did all that work. And like, and your kids, Quincy, especially.
I
Quincy,
bet.
he did good, but he could crawl out of his bed.
Oh,
He was a little over a year old.
I am not surprised.
Yeah. He's just like little ninja baby.
Yep.
And then there he is in bed with me. What am I going to do? Go sleep in his crib? Like put
Right.
a lock on the door?
Right.
Which was what actually our ped recommended. They like would put a gate and a lock so they can't get out. So then they're just like, but leave the door open so they feel safe. And then they're just like, Mom! Like
yeah, no.
little baby gel.
Right.
That didn't feel good for me.
No.
You know?
No. No
Then-
kidding.
Right. And
But I mean,
if it works for someone, to me,
well, and I think it also depends on the child's personality.
right.
Because that's another thing. I only have one, but I've grown up with a lot of kids around me in my life. And I see, you have 4. So each one is different.
Right.
And they have different needs. They have different things that work for them. And maybe that does work. Child jail works for kids sometimes. You know what I mean?
Could, yeah.
And who knows what they're
Could.
I
Or
don't
just
know
like
if
they're
that's
like,
not foreseeing. Or what.
yeah. Well, yeah. Foreshadowing. It is
Foreshadowing.
not knock on whatever you
Yeah.
got to knock on right
Mhm.
now. But it's to me, I think what I started to connect with as an old mom is I want my babies to feel safe and I want them to feel love and I want them to feel connected. And I do sacrifice my sleep because of that.
Mhm.
And I'm okay with that.
And
and
that's great.
That's just where I stand on it. So
Absolutely.
if there's the 4 of us in the bedroom and there's hot flashing and windows are opening and thermostats are changing and
Yep.
phones are, I don't even
Yep.
know.
But that baby's just there like this.
Uh,
But that's so true because that's what works for you. And that is what's really nice about hopefully for all mommies to really find the strength within to just do what's best for you because
Mhm.
that really it gives you the freedom to do that. It liberates you as a mom to just say like and another thing, so I'm going back and forth.
I
It's
like this.
brain.
Mhm. I'm here for it.
So I think that it's important to say that when we were having that conversation, I remember this, and
Uh-huh.
I was sharing with you, and there were some other people there, and I think what I was really needing at that moment, which you allowed me to do, was just share
Uh-huh.
and bitch about it for a second and vent it out and not get advice. Like not say, I mean, and I think it's an important thing, even just as a human being, to
Mhm.
try and say, before you do something, say, do you want me to give you some advice or
Feedback
or feedback? Yeah.
yeah.
Or do you need just listen? I mean, just listen until that time comes in and be like, would you like, I have some things that happened or that helped me. Do you want me to share that with you? And because a lot of times as moms, you do just need to let it out,
Mhm.
hear that, be heard for a minute, and then move on.
And it's not, I mean, you could call it like validated, but it's just a little bit like, yeah, like that, like it's just that.
Yeah.
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 Just yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry you didn't sleep.
Yeah. Welcome. I'm with you. I feel
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. We've been there
I
doing it.
that was making me think, and maybe not exactly about sleep health, but about how sometimes we are so eager to offer unsolicited advice because we found something that works for us. So we just want to share with everyone. So
Which
remember,
comes from a great place.
it does,
Yeah.
absolutely. And remembering that when you're on the receiving end of that excited person, they're not saying that you're doing it wrong. They're just
Mhm.
like excited about what's working for them, unless they are, unless they're pushing it at you, unless
Yeah.
they're they're trying to make demands, or like you can tell that. Like, but don't try to create something that's not actually there. They're actually
Yeah.
just excited about it.
They are excited
Yeah.
and they want to help. It's coming from a place of, hey, let me help. Like I care about you.
How do I help?
How about I help you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My aunt and uncle were in town recently, and I was saying something about going to bed. So our current beautiful sleep habits that we have is and this is good, you guys. We have really come a long way. So me and the boys go up to bed at 7 o'clock, and we've done melatonin since chemo. Just our doctor suggested it. It's been helpful. It helps. My son Quincy is just like me, and like you that night where like you get to bed and you want to do cartwheels.
Mhm.
And I don't know, when I remember when I was young, I'm going to do two stories at once too. When I was young, I had a really, really challenging relationship with sleep for a lot of different reasons. But one was that energy that I could not move through my body. So I didn't even know what PMR was at the time, the progressive muscle relaxation.
Oh.
And I just started doing it. Maybe my gymnastics coach had told me, but like, it's like, well,
Okay,
you
yeah.
squeeze your toes and you let them go, squeeze your calves and let them go, and like go through my body doing these different exercises. Point being, I wish somebody would have given me some freaking melatonin when I was
Yeah.
6 so I could have slept.
Yeah.
Like my body just, it had a very difficult time. So we go up to bed 7, we pop our melatonin, all of us, have our water and our chocolate.
Mhm.
Now I have a TV in my room, which I was like, I will never have a TV in my room again. Like, but
I know.
now I have
Yeah.
one.
That's
Turned
another thing we should talk about. Never say never.
Never seen Justin, you knew what you were talking about. The beebs. He knew, didn't he?
Ew. He knew. That young little soul.
Oh,
Love you,
man.
Beebs.
Yep. Shout out right there. This
Yeah.
this
He's a new
episode
dad.
has been brought to you by Justin Bieber and his
Never
new
say
fatherhood. He's a new dad? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I am so hip to the tip.
I know.
Yeah. Different. Not that tip.
Well,
Megs.
you have 4 kids. So.
That's true. Okay, so I crawl into the bed. We turn the brightness down. Within 30 minutes, my kids are out. It's my like last 30 minutes where either I just snuggle or I might get on my phone and just like, I don't know, do my like last post or whatever piece. And then I go to sleep generally by 8. If I stay up until 8:30, like that's that's crazy.
Yeah.
So my aunt and uncle are in town. And I guess other humans stay up past 8.
What?
Boo. Yeah.
Don't come hang out with us.
You do not want to go to Mexico with us. Different story, but we have people who are going to be joining us in Mexico next time, and they're going to have, I know they're going to have expectations, and they are not going to be met. It's not, doesn't matter what country we're in.
Yep. Nope. It doesn't matter. Or the time zone, because guess what? We'll go to bed at their 8 o'clock. It doesn't matter.
We still will. We will adapt.
Yes.
So they were like, well, when is this going to change? Like, when is this going to, what are you going to do? Kind of like I had there was a problem that needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I know they're not going to be 13 sleeping with me.
No.
Pretty sure that when that starts to hit, they're going to be wanting their own beds. And I was like, there's no problem here. But some other people, because they've experienced it a certain way, they think that there is a problem.
Right.
And honestly, there's no problem with me going to bed at 8:30. It's my point in case 70th birthday party for my mom, my 45th.
Yeah.
Guess where Cal was? Party was still going on for an hour. Snoozing.
In her sequin dress.
Because I brought him back.
Oh man, I wish I should have came and got a picture. I really wish I would have got a picture.
We did a sparkle party. So the after
Sparkles.
party was here,
Yeah.
and then the babies needed to go to bed, which is my role. And I got tired.
The baby's in Cal.
Yeah.
They need to go to bed.
And there's no problem with that. I know in my way that I love to do even socialization, we're an afternoon hangout crew. So we can be to bed when we want to be to bed. And if we do stay up past 9, we will give ourselves high fives all day long, because that's not going to happen very often.
No,
Nope.
it's not.
Nope.
And if it does happen, it's not much past 9.
Nope. And we might be pissed about it a little bit the next day,
Yeah.
but
Uh-huh.
point being of that is like acknowledging that when people have something to say, I didn't care. I rolled right up. I was
Yeah.
just like, no, I don't have a,
Uh-huh.
there's no problem here.
There's no problem here.
We're good.
And everyone comes from a different space. Like even them asking you and it feeling that way, you know, maybe that's because you never know. Maybe
Yeah.
that's because that's what they've always wanted to do. And we're told that they weren't allowed to do it and weren't able to do it. So then now they're feeling some sort of way towards you doing it.
You know what would be interesting instead of just answering is to ask that question instead of making the assumption.
Yeah.
My assumption was coming from a very good space of they just wanted me to stay up more. Like they just
I'm
wanted
sure that's what it was because you're so fun and everyone loves you and we
Oh,
want to
you?
hang out with you. And it's sad when we're all hanging out and you're sleeping.
I'm not taking a snoozy. But you know, I could have just said, yeah, you know, it doesn't bug me. And I know that it's going to end at some point. Like, what does it make you feel? Like, how would
Yeah,
how would it be? Would it feel like a problem for you if it was in your situation? Because then if it did, then you would be proactive and take the steps that you needed to take to make sure that they went to bed at 10 instead, or that
Totally.
something different could happen there. But
Yeah.
we just like it the way we do it.
Yeah, that's right. And we keep going back to you do it what works for you. Just
Mhm.
do what works for you. And there's no reason to feel anything else about it than you're doing the best that you know how, the best you can for you and your family. And that's all we're here to do.
Yeah.
We're just like I said, we're spirit guiding these kids through this life. And I think it's important to touch back on saying that you had a difficult relationship with sleep as a child.
Mhm.
I also had a difficult
Did you?
relationship with sleep as a child. And I think that maybe that's also another reason why I want to have a safe space for Cass to grow up so he doesn't have a weird relationship with sleep where it's like we just sleep and those things. This is another reason why we want to do this and talk about it because those things you don't talk about.
Right.
You just do it and people perceive it and that's the end.
Yep.
And they have their own feelings on what you're doing.
And then often though, you take it personally, you start to make
Yeah.
changes that don't work for your family and for your little soul that you're guiding. And then all of a sudden you really have some aggravation in between yourself and your actions because you're trying to show up as somebody else instead of show up as yourself.
Yeah. And you are exactly the mom that kid needs.
Yeah.
So you just be you.
It's interesting to me to think about. I do think there's a shift that's gone on between our parents' generation, the baby boomer generation, to us as millennials, or I'm an exennial. The one I get the one.
Yeah,
Wait, you might get you get the X too because you're 82.
I'm 81.
81,
So I
yeah.
think I'm like an elder millennial.
yeah.
I'm at the tip top.
80 to 82, I think is, or 79 to 82 is exennials. Or
Yeah.
zennials.
Zennials.
Eh.
Or I think it's called like the gap generation or the lost generation or
The
best
the found
generation. Because guess
one.
what? We got it all.
We did. We are so freaking lucky.
We are so actually really
We have to
freaking
do
lucky.
a full conversation on that
We
for
will.
sure.
We will.
But when I look at like it feels like there was this swing of our parents' generation who really were pushed to parent in a way that involved being harsher and harder was better and building
Mhm.
children.
Mhm.
And then there's like the opposite swing of the pendulum that other people see that we're like, we coddle so much that we're building in very dependent, wimpy
Yeah,
little
what is it? Like codependency.
codependent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there, I mean, I can see all of that. I don't really have much to like share on the solution of any of it, but I do know personally for me, the experiences that I went through as a child, because at one point I had a conversation with my mom and just revisited the sleep trauma that I had. And there was a piece of her that was just like, man, I'm really like sorry that's like, you know, it just makes me sad. Or what did I do to make that happen? And it was like,
Yeah.
you did what you knew to do based upon how you were raised and you did your best.
Mhm.
And I get to take what your best was. And now I get to infuse it with my best to support my children be their best, which means all we're doing is stacking our improvements if we take that on instead of trying to become what they were or try to prove to them that we can parent just as harsh as them. Like I have no fucking desire to try to do that at all.
No, me either. Me either. Oh gosh, no. And I mean, there was a moment in my 20s where I had some real angst against my parents.
Uh-huh.
And just some real harsh feelings that I just was like working through. And then there was a moment in my late 20s where I was like, I had this realization, like this total life-changing realization that my parents are people. They're human who make mistakes, who don't who aren't family. They chose to love each other, like, and have all these kids. And so I was like, "Oh, I forgive you."
Yeah.
Like the end,
Yeah.
forgiven, like done. And it was just it took that moment. So I really wanted to like highlight that. I think that our parents, that generation, they were rough on their kids.
Mhm.
There was a lot of physical parenting.
Yeah. There you go.
There was a lot of don't speak till you're spoken to. Like they were not
Quieting their
con-
souls.
yes, they were not even allowed to be.
Mhm.
Um, so they to their parents, I think, swung the pendulum.
Right.
And but even though so that was their parents' generation, then our parents' generation, I really do believe most parents in general just really trying to do the best with what they have and work with what they know.
Yeah.
And so our parents did that. And like you said, I love that it's like this building block of this generational motherhood, parenting that we're building. Your best, then your best, then your best, then your
Mhm.
best. And it just is going to just get better and better and better.
Yeah.
And that's so cool.
It's
And
so special.
I mean, our kids are all going to be fucked up some way. We can't do everything perfect, so
That's
don't ever think that you are perfect or you're doing it right.
one of
you
my
know?
friends, she's like, I want you to keep in mind whenever we talk about mothering, she's like, your job is to fuck up your children
Yeah.
so that they can move through something and become, because if they don't ever get the opportunity to become,
Mm.
then they just, do you know what I mean? It's like they're
Yeah.
just kind of going through it. So we're gonna mess them up somehow.
Somehow.
We got it. Who knows what it's gonna be?
That'd be fun to think about. I wonder what Cassie Poo's shit is gonna be when
You
he's
have
older.
so much more time to screw that kid up. You got so much time.
I
Megan.
know.
There is just loads of things you can
Loads.
do.
I know. Got lots of years ahead. He's gonna be
Uh,
3 on the 1st.
Oh my gosh.
I know, my little 3
You're-
Rex.
you're
We're
not-
doing a 3 Rex birthday party.
Oh. Not the 2 Rex, but the 3 Rex.
3 Rex.
Oh, best
know.
ever.
Yeah.
So taking all of that back to can you read that, Red? Talk about age.
Yep, I need my readers. 39.50.
We're gonna have glasses sitting next to us or a big red timer on air, but not for them, for us.
For us.
So we know how long we've been talking because we can talk.
Go on and on. Yeah.
So going back to, so now we've talked about like sleep habits, and there's
Mm.
one that we're having preschoolers and the challenge of preschool sleeping and like we said, just since you're a parent, but then moving into just womanhood and motherhood and that running list that is always in the background somewhere,
Yeah.
even when we're crushing life.
Yeah.
The list doesn't ever freaking end.
No.
Ever.
No, ever. No, because it's just ongoing. It's literally continuously like, I think like, when you open a scroll and it's like
Like the declaration, you just like see it. Blah, 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 and it's like, but this isn't my list for the year. This is my list for today.
Yeah.
The today list.
The today list.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it is ongoing. And it is hard because I think as a mom, I don't know, maybe not, maybe it's just my brain, but, and I do tend to, or I have in the past tend to be kind of a worrier a little bit. So I'm really trying to move out of that space because I just keep thinking, I've heard a lot of good quotes on worrying and how it's taking you out of the present. And it's, you're just setting yourself up for things that have never even happened. But,
Yeah.
I think that's just part of being a mom anyways, because, now it's not, the focus isn't on you. And so you just like kind of worry about your kids. But so there's all of that to go on. But like, I'm finding myself now, he's going to be 3 in a couple weeks. And I'm like, where's he going to go to school? Where are we going to do preschool? And do I need to start looking into schools right now? Like, it's like crazy.
Yeah.
And Johnny's like, well, I guess I'm gonna take a shower and go to work. Like, I mean, which is great. That is awesome. That
'Cause
is being a dad,
they
you
can
know?
balance us, but at the
Yes.
same time,
Yeah. But it's like the mental load is just they can't even fathom. But it
yeah.
is continuous.
Last night in my wake up sesh, literally, that was one of the things that
Mm.
hit my list that I had not taken care of yet because Witten should have an IEP and I was supposed to fill out a form two weeks
Mm.
ago. So I was like, Cal, before you're going to get up and then first thing, okay, first of all, you think that, but you're not going to sleep. So you're probably not going to get up like that, but you're going to
Yeah.
get up, you're going to do the form before we start this. And yep, another day where that
Yep.
has not happened yet.
Right.
So
I know. We could save the world in the night.
we could. We really could. One thing which just as we're talking about this, maybe I need to get back to because mine has just started to kick back in where I feel like, wow, I've been sleeping like pretty well,
Yeah.
especially compared to how I used to sleep. So I'm like, this is pretty awesome. But as I've been having more of these wake up sessions and like a little bit of feeling of unease or the rowdy or whatever that
Mm-hmm.
is making sure that I one have a list before I go to bed,
Yeah.
like making my list and I have 47 notes of lists. So that's not the supportive tool for me. I think I need to have something better, maybe more
Yeah.
tangible that's like just next to my bed of like,
Yeah.
here's my immediate things.
Uh-huh.
And then also something that's helped me just in life is like lately is remembering that most of it's not that important.
Right.
Now we do have to figure out our kids' preschool, but do you have to have the perfect? I mean, it's Quincy's birthday party's in a week and it's 11 days.
Yeah.
I haven't made an invitation. I don't know a theme. And we're going to school today. And I'm like, hey, bud, do you want like a theme for your party? He's like, I don't know what that means. And I was like, well, that's good because I'm just going to tell people to show up at 11.
Yep.
Like
The theme is show up at 11.
Hey, just show up. And
Oh, yeah.
we can go all out on different things and areas
Yeah.
in our world, but we also don't have to.
No.
And the most important thing is being present and protecting our children.
Yeah, for sure. Because at the end of the day, I think what we've all found out just in life is the thing that matters the most is just to be there. It's just being there, just
Mhm.
showing up, just say, I love you and I'm here. They
That's
don't care what you bring, what you're wearing, if there's a fucking theme. They just want you to show up
yeah.
and share that time with them.
Yep. Yep.
And that's what we all want, right? That's what I
Absolutely.
want.
Absolutely. Even yeah, for my own days, like
Mhm.
just give me you
I know,
for a little
right?
while. Yeah.
I know. Same.
Oh. Okay, I just have to go back to the very beginning. So
Do
the
it.
reason why we got on this tangent is this beautiful freaking sky blue. Remember? So there's a sky blue.
Oh,
And in my list of things to not sleep at, like from 12 until 4 last night was like, okay, so first of all, one of the things that I try to do to support myself to go back to sleep, especially because I have 2 kids in the bed, which means I can't really get up and get out. I
mhm.
can't like be on something where it's making noise. So it does put me in a state of just like laying there.
Mm,
Like, so I am just laying. And Witten wakes up a lot, so he will be disrupted.
right.
And also, they know when mom's energy's gone.
Uh-huh.
So I've gotten used to just laying there, and how I kind of justify or reason it to myself as a useful time period. Because
Mhm.
sometimes you're like, I don't want to just waste these hours. I should get up and start doing shit because I have
I
stuff, I have
know.
stuff to do.
I have so much to do.
Yeah, is I will tell myself this is the time where you get to still rest. If I'm laying in bed, I'm still resting. My
Mhm.
body, even if I don't sleep, maybe that night where you didn't sleep at all, like where
Yeah.
you're still letting your being rest.
Uh-huh.
And it's also an opportunity for meditation, which as I was trying to do last night, realized I'm a little bit out of practice after stuffing so
rusty.
much yoga. I'm like, thoughts just coming in,
Yeah.
and I'm just like trying to whiz them out.
Uh-huh.
So I'll do those 2 things. And then I shared this with Megs at one point. Like I do a lot of light work and gratitude and praying throughout the time. I will like picture like a light for me, God's light going through my body and having any ease or discomfort, just like leaving my
Pushing it
body.
out.
And I go from my toes and I work my way up. So I did probably an hour and a half of just like feeling this light move up. And what's really interesting is that when I get like towards different areas of my body, like especially as I got to where that rowdy spot was,
Mhm.
I could feel it like move to my head and out, which might sound funky, but it's like I really felt
Yeah.
like that time, even though I wasn't sleeping, I feel refreshed today. I feel good, but I feel like it was supportive,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know?
Yes.
So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Well,
That's
And
Yeah.
okay, no, keep going. I'm going to
No,
circle back to the light blue at
I
the
was
very
just going to
end.
say that I love that you took that time to support yourself and
Mhm.
to support your body, even though, because there are times, and it makes it worse for me, where I get frustrated that I can't
Mhm.
sleep. And I'm just like, go to
Yeah,
sleep.
punish yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going to punch
And
myself
it's
now.
like, and then I look at the clock and it's like, it's another hour. And why does the time go by so fucking
So
fast
fast.
where I'm like, it was 9 and now it's 12? Like, what the why
Mm,
can't days do that
yeah,
sometimes? But I mean, and I guess they do, but
yeah,
really at nighttime though, I'm
yeah,
like, it's like, are we in another dimension right
yeah,
now? Like, what the hell? But I did just want to acknowledge that I really love that you showed up for yourself in that way and just took the time to say, I'm going to support myself
yeah,
and my body and whatever that is, because Rowdy was in there and she needed to leave.
yeah. I just got to see her, just like acknowledge her and let her
Yeah.
go when she's
Yeah.
ready to go. And um, then I know you mentioned one of these things that you do, and I know we've talked about it, but your gratitudes.
Yeah, yeah, so I just try and lay I mean, that was also from you, which
Mhm.
is awesome, is that you lay there I was laying there with my eyes closed, phone down, everything dark, and just really honing in on the things that I was really grateful for,
Mhm.
and not it doesn't need to be, like, elaborate, it's not these, like, come to Jesus moments of, like, "I'm so grateful for it's like, gosh, I'm so grateful I have this bed to lay in right now. I'm so grateful that my family is here with me at this moment and we're all together in the same space. I'm so grateful that I have red toenail polish on my feet because they look so pretty right now. Like, like
Yes.
those little tiny things, because there are so many that you can draw your attention to really, um, first of all, push out, because sometimes it feels like maybe the non-sleep is a little bit of negative energy.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you can bring in this positivity consistently. And you really, I mean, even when I don't sleep, gosh, I feel great
It's like a
about
massage for
it.
the soul
It is.
when you do that. Like
Yeah.
you're giving yourself, now you're taking that time where you weren't able to sleep and now you're feeding your soul and
Mhm.
your own light. And whether you go back to sleep or not because of it, I have gratitude myself to sleep many a time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but
Mhm.
it was worth the time no matter what.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be, I should do it every night
Mhm.
before I go to bed.
It feels good.
It feels
Yeah.
fantastic. You just, even if, yeah, like you said, if you don't sleep and I wake up and I'm exhausted, I still feel grateful.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for this next day that I'm about to embark on.
We have just a habit or a routine where when we go to bed, we say, Dear God, thank you for this moment. Thank you for this exact moment, bringing us back into what you were talking about, the soft bed below us, the sound machine,
Mm.
the ability to turn the light down on the TV, the chocolate, the melatonin, the snuggles. Like as I went to bed last night, even though I didn't sleep well later, I walked into bed and I was like, man, for as much, this is literally, I'm saying this to myself before we were talking about this today. Literally, for as much sleep trauma as I've had, I freaking love going and laying in my bed with my boys. Like it is just one of the best
Mm.
times of my day. I just love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too. I
It's
love it.
yeah.
And yeah, we're all in bed together. I love that we're all in bed together.
Mhm.
And Cassie always goes, Mama, hold you.
Oh,
Because he's got to be in my little nook
yeah.
right here. And he won't go to sleep unless he's in my nook, except he's starting to, and that's starting to break my heart a little bit. But I'm
Oh.
not, I'm letting him do it. I'm not like, get in here, boy. I'm like, okay, yeah, you can go lay on the pillow next to
What
daddy.
are we gonna do when our kids want to go into their own bed?
Oh
We're
my
gonna be like,
gosh. I'll
uh,
be like, I'll just sleep here on the floor
yeah.
if you need me.
Can I sleep with you? Can you
Cassie, hold
hold
me.
me?
Hold you. Hold you.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. So yeah.
One other thing that I have is that I like to pray, and I mean praying in a different way. Like I love to pray over people. So I'll just start going through everyone in my world, not in my world, my social media world,
Mm.
populations, like whatever comes into my heart, I will pray for their strength and their love and their light. And I don't even know what's going on in their lives, but there are some like requests that you have. So I know those, obvious situations, but
If you have one, say,
yeah, comment it. Yeah.
Cal will pray over you in
And
the middle of the night.
it feels good again when you're when you're, it's not like hurting, but when you have a challenge that you're facing, to help other people can pull you from your challenge. And even though I know it's just like not sleeping, but sometimes that rowdy feeling, like you said, leads to like some sort of a negative connotation.
Mhm.
And when you can take that and turn it into positive by praying for other people,
Yeah.
there's a third way that you can be super productive when you're just laying there,
Yeah.
laying in the sack.
Right in the sack, right on your face. And I think that taking you away from yourself sometimes is really, really important. There is a quote, gosh dang it, and I was going to write it down. It's Albert Einstein quote,
Mhm.
and it's something about, I don't have my phone either. That the purest form of connection to being love is being away from self. It's
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I'll find it. I'm reading a
No.
book right now that has it in it, and I was like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
That's so true.
What's funny about that is just when I was in my run a couple days ago, I was visualizing what I want for myself, and I was seeing my neural pathways like connect stronger. I'm like, you're going to memorize all of these books that you read and all the quotes. And then as I like sat with that, I was like, or you don't have to know the exact quote or who said it, but the message of what
The
it
message,
is.
yeah,
Which
and
is
how you received it.
yeah, which is exactly what that is. But
Yeah.
like, so being able to step away from your ego,
Uh-huh.
step away from self, and see where you can find love.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
I love that.
And that he was saying like that is the closest to being like being
Being. Mhm.
to being
Yeah.
is stepping away from self.
Yeah.
So by praying for others,
Right in there.
you're closer.
Mhm.
You're just getting a little closer.
Little closer.
Um,
So as I'm laying there and there's this light blue, this is,
know.
and one of the things that I thought about and all of that was like my favorite color has always been like a deep jade, like
Oh.
all of this, whatever.
Mhm.
Well, actually, this is much more closer to what I envisioned last night because for some reason, this electric blue, because I'll try to like see lights and stuff too, because that's just fun. It's like a light show, a little firecracker show in your brain.
Ooh.
But I saw this like electric blue and I'm like, I feel like you're stepping into your electric blue phase. Like you're vibrant, very light, but still has the hones of what I like
My
love.
80s girl heart loves that.
Yes.
Stepping into my electric blue era.
What? Hello, we have another fit ready for you. Stepping into my electric blue era. It's a song we're working on.
Yep, we just started it. We're gonna just we'll hone it in and really get the words going for you.
Yeah,
guys.
you
The
guys are-
melody's already there. Don't worry about that. But
So full circle, that's what we're talking about today.
I love it.
Yep.
Sleep.
Sleep.
Do it how you do it.
Do. And that's a wrap. Sleep. Do it how you do it.
And we always wish you the best sleep ever
We
and
do.
the best day ever. And we hope that this brings light into your life.
Electric blue light.
Electric blue light.
And maybe use a couple of those tools if you're having trouble with whether it's because of the toddler or the freaking hot flashes.
Or work or whatever it
Yeah.
is, family. And please share with us the ways you do, the way you do,
Yes.
what your family does for sleep, how you guys all sleep together, or how you put your toddler to bed at night. Maybe you have this really freaking cool routine
Bed,
that
Bath,
I would
Book.
love. Bed,
Yeah.
Bath, and Beyond.
I do Bed Bath and Beyond. What do you do? Bed Bath Book? That's weird. Huh? I do melatonin movies and I don't know what
Yep.
the other M is. Something.
Moving the screen down.
Melatonin-
But yeah, so please share with us.
Yes.
I want to know also how you work through when you don't sleep, because I know we all go through it. And, I shared with you the way that I do my eye movements. That doesn't work, just so you know, not for me, but maybe you
Go
have
in there, you're
something and I would
tapping.
love to try. Yeah.
You're tapping and eye movementing,
Yeah.
and we're like, what's happening? And then she's doing PMR,
Yeah.
and her legs are shaking, and we're
and
like,
I'm like
okay.
on top of the bed.
Hold your
this, and Johnny's
guys.
like, what the? It's like, let me get in on that.
Caston, this is the moment where you do need your own bed, okay? Love you, little guy.
We'll just go into his room.
That's what that one's for anyway.
Come
Come on, you guys.
Yeah,
Beds are
right.
for sleeping. Children's
Right,
beds that aren't occupied or for other things.
Other things.
There you
for
go.
Trying to make more chilling,
To make little babies.
which is nice because I'm perimenopausal. So
Yeah.
safe.
Oh man, we
All
love
right.
you guys.
We love you
Yeah,
guys.
if you haven't shared something you're grateful for, we did multiple times throughout this video, so I think we already crushed that. But if you can't share anything else, one thing you're grateful for, maybe
Yeah.
it is the red toenail polish.
It is.
Yeah,
It is right now.
Yeah,
Sparkly.
love your ghost.
Love your ghost.
And see
Till
you.
next time. See you when I.
See you when we see you.
See you.
Until the next time.
Yay.
Love you. Bye.
don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.